What's up, everybody? It's the Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video. And right now, currently, I am working on a video about the comments that have been left in the Melvin videos. There's a whole lot of confusion by people, and I'm trying to unwind that and make you a video so y'all can understand what's going on. But first, this may help you understand the Melvin situation a little bit better. Where I'm at is I'm on fintel, AMC short interest, and you know your favorite YouTubers read this stuff to you almost every day. AMC short interest is sitting 100,632,000 shares of AMC have been shorted legally. Okay, the days to cover is 2.18. What that means is if they had to close out all 100 million shares, it would take them 2.18 days to be able to do that. All right, and we see that the short interest percent of the float is at 19.52. You hear this all the time, people. This usually they use Ortex or something, but I like fintel better. But scrolling down, we're going to take a look at the history of the short interest. And I want to show y'all something that's very important. Scrolling down, we get to the Fintel's AMC short interest daily fintel updates. And I want you to notice that it says here on 5/9/2022, there was 99 million shares of AMC short. And then the next day, it jumped up to 100,632,000 shares. All right, in one day it jumped up, and the days to cover went from 3.48 to 3.32 because of the volume increase. And the last little section right here is the short interest percent of the float was sitting at 1935 on the 9th, and one day later it had moved up 0.17 or something, but not much. It just went up. But the point is this: on the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, the 16th, the 17th, the 18th, the 19th, the short interest did not change one bit. All right, they did not legally borrow and then short any AMC shares since the 10th, which is 10 days ago. They have not legally borrowed shares and shorted them on the open market. The AMC short interest percent of the float is 19.52, and it has been that for the last 10 days. Now, the next thing this chart tells me is not only have they not legally borrowed any shares and sold them short on the open market, it also tells me they have not closed out any of their short positions. Why? The number hasn't changed. If they borrow more, that number goes up. If they return the shares and close out their positions, the number goes down. That's how short interest works. All right, so let's take a look at this again. Next, I come down here to the short interest, which is the official New York Stock Exchange data. This is going to be very important, people. This is the lesson that I'm trying to share with y'all today. Is I'm going to scroll down here. We have our dates over here on the left. We're going to scroll down to January. That's at the bottom. January 15th, 2021, right before the January run-up. Okay, AMC was sitting at 44 million shares short. All right, and the percent of the float was 19.91. On 129, AMC was short 37 million shares, and the short interest had dropped to 16.81, meaning they had covered that many shares. So basically, at 19.91, and on the 29th, they were at 16.81. They cleared 3.1% of their short interest between 115 and 129. That's whenever the mini squeeze happens. All right. You move on up here to 212, and we see that AMC is short 48 million. All right, where it was short 37. So it went up 11 million short interest, and the short interest went from 16 to 21. And then on February 26th, it went up to 55, and the short interest moved up to 24. And if we look at the short interest numbers from the June run-up, we see that on 5/28, we were reporting a 22.72% short interest. And then on 6/15, after the run-up, it drops to 18.89% short interest. Which means that during the June run-up for AMC, they closed out 3.83% of their short interest. They still had the rest of them. Okay? And one last point before we leave. If you look right above that, you see 14.70. That was for June 30th, 2021. It dropped from 18 to 14, but don't be fooled. That was because they added shares to the pool. When they went from 450 to 513, that drops their short interest, and then it continues to rise on up from there to new highs. But do you understand? That's how you look at this chart. This is how you know when they're returning shares and closing out their positions, and how you know that they are increasing their positions. If we look right here on our latest date, on March 31st, they were 101 million shares short. 101,419,000 shares short. The short interest was 19.63. Now, on 4/14, they reported 99,746,000 shares short. That's a 1.65% change down. All right. So from here, 3/15, they were down 2.94%. On 4/14, they went down another 1.65%. All right. As this number dropped from 104 million short, 101 million short, 99 million short. That's telling you people they are closing out their position. Now, the last date that we have is 4/29, and it moved up from 99,746,000 to 100 million again. So we went from a 19.3 to a 19.47 short interest. That's very important. Up in here, they closed out 4,741,246 shares of AMC was returned and closed. That short interest was closed. Almost 5 million shares legally shorted AMC shares were returned. Then the next day, the next time we get the date, 4/14, 4/29, it's moved back up into the 100 again, and it's sitting at 19.47%. So that's how you know, people. People comment shit. Oh yeah, but they have to cover. You need to be paying attention. You need to go study these charts right here that I'm showing you, and see that they cover a little bit at a time, then they move it back up, cover a little bit more at a time, moving it back up, and they're steadily doing that to us. So I'm going to be addressing them comments that y'all are leaving. One particular one is that, and I just answered it in a comment that just come up. Somebody made a comment that Melvin was shutting down, and then they were going to reopen under a new hedge fund. And I told them that wasn't true. And they're giving me their source, and I'm telling them, go look at the date. That's old news. They're not doing that. But I'm going to be giving you the truth of Melvin Capital and what's going on in the next video. I'm working on it now. I love y'all. Be blessed.
Cold red, there's been a glitch in the matrix. They out here wildin', it's too much, I can't take it. Red pill, blue pill.